In the heart of Scotland, shrouded in mist and time, stands Balgonie Castle, a fortress of stone and secret. It is here that one of the land's most chilling legends was born, the tale of the Red Shoes. The story centers around a noble woman of great beauty and equal pride, who resided within the castle's formidable walls. Her name is lost to history, but her vanity has become immortal. She possessed a pair of shoes crafted from the finest leather and dyed a startling, vibrant red. They were a thing of beauty, but also, it was whispered, a thing of great peril. In those days, superstition was as much a part of life as the air they breathed. The color red, while a symbol of passion and nobility, was also associated with sin, danger, and the devil's work. Friends and servants alike warned the lady against wearing the shoes, their voices low with a mixture of awe and fear. They spoke of old curses, of objects imbued with malevolent spirits. But the noblewoman, in her arrogance, dismissed their concerns as the ramblings of the simple. To her, the shoes were a symbol of her status, her beauty, her defiance of the drab and dreary world outside her castle. One fateful evening, a grand ball was held at Balgonie. It was a night of music, laughter, and flickering candlelight. The noblewoman, determined to be the center of all attention, chose this occasion to debut her magnificent red shoes. As she descended the grand staircase, a hush fell over the assembly. The shoes were dazzling, catching the light with every step, a stark and beautiful contrast to the muted tones of the castle's stone. She felt a surge of triumph as she entered the ballroom. The eyes of every guest fixed upon her and her scandalous, beautiful shoes. The music began, a lively and infectious tune, and the noblewoman was swept into the dance. At first, it was exhilarating. She moved with a grace and energy that seemed almost supernatural, her red shoes a blur of motion on the polished floor. But as the night wore on, a horrifying realization began to dawn on her. She could not stop. The music had long since ended for others. The musicians had packed away their instruments, and the guests had retired. But her feet, encased in their crimson prisons, continued to move, to leap, to twirl in a frantic, unending dance. Day bled into night, and night into day again. The castle halls, once filled with life and music, now echoed with the relentless, rhythmic tap-tapping of the red shoes. The noblewoman's initial pride had long since turned to terror, her laughter to desperate pleas for help. But no one could break the curse. Servants tried to hold her, to restrain her, but an unseen force propelled her onward, her body a puppet to the demonic will of the shoes. Her body, once strong and vibrant, began to weaken. Exhaustion etched deep lines on her beautiful face, and her elegant gown became tattered and soiled. She was a prisoner in her own body, forced to dance on the brink of collapse, unable to eat, to drink, to rest. The dance was no longer a dance. It was a grotesque and cruel torture, a public spectacle of her downfall. The curse, it was said, was a punishment for her overwhelming pride and vanity, a grim lesson from an unseen, unforgiving power. The macabre dance continued for what felt like an eternity, until the noblewoman's heart strained beyond its limits. finally gave out. Only in death did she find release. As her lifeless body crumpled to the floor, the red shoes fell silent, their wicked energy finally spent. With trembling hands, the servants removed the shoes from her cold, still feet. They were as bright and beautiful as ever, showing no sign of their demonic dance. To ensure they could never bring such horror upon anyone else, the red shoes were taken to a remote corner of the castle and locked away in a heavy, iron-bound chest. There they remain, a silent, crimson testament to a dark and cautionary tale. The legend of the red shoes of Balgonie Castle has been passed down through generation, a chilling reminder of the dangers of vanity and a warning that some beauty comes at a terrible, terrible price.